I hop into a best ball lobby, and who do I see? A streamer, Davis Mattek. Listen, you get into the streaming game, you get into the YouTube game, go check out all the videos. We're bound to run into this guy. Now listen, I haven't watched a single one of his videos, I'm not going to lie. I know he makes amazing fantasy content, I know he's a grinder, I know a lot about him, but I'm about to find out just what he's made of. We're drafting against Davis Mattek. Can we get a rival on our channel? We started off pretty hot. 1-2 turn, we got CD, we got Bowers. Trey McBride is the big faller. And if I knew McBride was going to fall, well, I wouldn't have taken the elite tight end of Brock Bowers early. This is what we do, though. We're going Chase Brown. Now, why do I like Chase Brown? Chase Brown, yes, Zach Moss is back. Sure, they draft Taj Brooks. Chase Brown averaged 17 points in the second half of 2024, and he's poised to still handle a big amount of the workload. So we go kind of balanced, but we're kind of falling behind at wide receiver out of the gate. The best approach in drafting this year is going balanced. Or, it's just hard when you go elite tight end, you're going to have to play catch up at wide receiver late in this draft. That's what we're going to be doing. We have CD as the anchor, which has me excited, has me happy, but really we're focusing on wide receivers the next couple of rounds. I hope we get somebody like Godwin. I hope we get someone like Evans. Those are my big sleepers on the Buccaneers. I feel like Evans and Godwin are both way below where they could be going in their value. Specifically Godwin. If Godwin's healthy, Godwin averaged 19 points per game in his healthy span in 2024. So we're hoping that we can get Godwin around ADP of 60 when we're up on the clock in like the 4th, 5th round. Look at that. You start talking about the rival. You start talking about Mike Evans. Where's the camera? This Davis dude is in my lobby. Dude, he's stream sniping me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Now, he's got Genty. He's got BTJ. He's got Mike Evans, dude. I love the Mike Evans pick. And you can see he took him one spot ahead of ADP over the elite QB of Josh Allen, who fell 3 picks. Now, Davis knows that it's just hard. Like, he already went with the anchor RB of Ashton Jenny. If he was to go Genty and elite QB, it would be hard playing catch-up at wide receiver late. Now, we're coming up on the clock again at pick 44. If you guys are new to the channel, please smash the like button, especially subscribe button, turn on the bell. We're drafting with some other guys from our channel, and here we got Isaac. Isaac, a member of the channel, has been showing support all year long. He's got Saquon, JT, Wilson. You're cooked, buddy. But here we go. We need a receiver, and we need one bad. Like Kittle, we obviously already have Bowers. Good. I'm glad to see Kittle go. That helps us out a lot here. DJ Moore, just too much target competition. James Cook is not exciting. Like my favorite receiver on the board is honestly Metcalf. But Metcalf has not had like a single stellar season. And do I think it's going to happen for the first time with Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. So I'm in a tough spot here. Where do I go with James Cook? And James Cook had a great season, but he averaged 1 touchdown per game. If James Cook has any touchdown regression, contract year, like touchdown regression for James Cook is going to be game over, you lose. So I don't really like going with James Cook right here. Of course he falls. You're between James Cook and you're between DK Metcalf. We come in here, we already have Chase Brown as our RB1. I know there's going to be running backs available to us later. Jameson would be nice for the spike weeks, but when we go DK Metcalf, we know we're getting the actual wide receiver 1 in an offense. The Steelers have nobody else. They have Calvin Austin. They have Roman Wilson. Maybe they sign somebody like Keenan Allen. Now, Jonnu Smith is kind of a big body guy that Aaron Rodgers can lean on as well. But I do expect DK Metcalf to just have such a large share of that Pittsburgh offense that I get excited about it. And looking at our team, like Chase Brown, CD Lamb, Brock Bowers, I love everybody here. Metcalf, it was pretty much just to keep this team balanced. Now, hopefully we get something exciting at pick 53. Looking at where the ADP lines up, do I reach on somebody I like? Calvin Ridley? I think Calvin Ridley could have a heck of a season now. They just released, we just saw some of the early point projections for all these teams. The Titans project out as one of the top 4 lowest scoring offenses in 2025, and that does definitely play a role here. Best case scenario is we're getting Jameson or Sutton on the way back around. I think we're about to see them both go off. There's 4 spots in between us. Zay Flowers goes. That's huge. Now, Isaac's been watching the videos, I'm sure. Surely Isaac is not going to let Jameson or Cortland Sutton slide through his fingers. I also like Waddle. We're talking about potential wide receiver 1s. Jalen Waddle is 26. Tyreek Hill is 31. Tyreek Hill might have trouble staying healthy. Jalen Waddle's been standing out at camp. That's the buzz. So really, Jameson, Waddle, and then Chuba are probably the 3 guys in play. I don't really love taking the RB of Chuba here. So I think we're probably going to go Waddle if he falls. Isaac, He's a supporter. I got to hope he makes the right pick for his team. The right pick, 3 RBs. I don't know, man. You probably should have went wide receiver there. But that allows Mr. Waddle to fall into our lap. And now I already feel like we're caught back up at wide receiver with this elite tight end strategy. What has Davis been doing? Davis goes elite quarterback. So he passed, remember, on Josh Allen in favor of sniping us with Mike Evans. And then you can see he takes Jaden Daniels a spot ahead of ADP, takes him unstacked. I don't love that. Now, I expect Davis to probably be looking at maybe Debo, but Debo, I'm not a big fan of Debo. I don't know what his personal take on Debo is. I can't imagine that he's a huge fan, but, to each their own. Personally, if I'm Davis, I'm going Zach Ertz later on in this draft, and we'll see if Davis can get that on the... You're looking at around like 11, 12, to be honest, for Mr. Ertz. Chuba, Mixon off the board. Now that we have 3 wide receivers, I feel like we're caught back up. We have more freedom with our upcoming pick to potentially get a little crazy. Now, 10 picks away, that's going to put us at an ADP of 68. Now, interestingly, take a look at the board. We're going to be picking before the team they got T. Higgins, before the team they got Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow is in play at 68. Joe Burrow stacked with Chase Brown. I hate it. I don't hate it. I feel like if you're really looking to optimize in the puppy, you have a 375-person final. Are you really going to win Week 17 with a Chase Brown 60-yard receiving touchdown? And if you're in the Week 15, Week 16, and Joe Burrow pops off, you're probably going against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as well. So I don't know if I love taking Joe Burrow here. He is going to be available to us. We're playing catch-up at wide receiver. James Conner's a great pick. I can't. The guy that I've been taking way too much, and maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy for this. Davis goes RJ Harvey. He now has 2 rookie running backs. Interesting start. Hopefully he plays catch-up there at veteran RB later on in this draft. But listen, if Godwin falls, I think I have no choice. You know what? I'm going to make the decision for me. I'm going Godwin or Burrow. There's 2 picks in between us. Godwin goes. And that is disappointing. Jacoby Myers off the board, and we're going to have a unique start and a scary start going elite quarterback and elite tight end. Now, I call it elite quarterback because, to me, there's a tier of 3 guys. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. I put all 3 in the top tier. I then have Jaden Daniels a tier below in a tier of his own. And then I have Joe Burrow in a tier below at number 5. And then after that tier, there's a group of like 3 guys. Bo Nix, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. Those guys, it's a good tier. I like taking quarterbacks from that tier at an ADP of around 90. You'll see me do that a lot. But I'm going with Joe Burrow right here. I feel like I don't have much Joe Burrow exposure. Let's actually pull it up and see what I have. Because, we've done so many drafts now that it's like, yeah, we're starting to be able to tell. So, Joe Burrow, I have him at 11%. Pretty good entry fees, though, so I must have taken him in a high-stakes draft. But what are we going to get on the way back around? Now we're sitting here, and we're done with QB. We're done with tight end until the later rounds, man. We're sitting here with only 1 RB and 3 wide receivers. Now, if we don't get Montgomery, Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift, then we're going to be in what I like to call no man's land at running back. The last running back I like Pacheco, I don't mind Pacheco, but I feel like he shouldn't be in the same tier of these guys. My next favorite running back is Brian Robinson Jr., and then after Brian Robinson Jr., it's really just darts. I don't mind ETN, Scattergo, Tracy. They could be in a timeshare. Tracy's 1 snap away from failing. I like Javonte at 130-ish ADP. You see Pacheco go ahead of Swift, ahead of Montgomery, ahead of Caleb Johnson. Now, the smart pick might be taking Caleb Johnson right here. When I'm sitting here with Chase Brown, and as my second running back, I'm not a big fan of taking in the rookies. Usually, when I'm taking these rookie running backs, I already have 2 solid staples. Maybe I have DeAndre Swift and Chase Brown already, and then I'm fine taking the rookie running back. I'm going to go ahead and, oh man, look at Debo. Dude, is Davis going to get the Debo stack? Did Davis pass on Debo Samuel? Look, he must have, right? I'm going DeAndre Swift, and listen to this, guys. My exposure now on DeAndre Swift, he is my most drafted player at 37%, and it's about to be up a little bit higher because I'm going DeAndre Swift again. DeAndre Swift has all of the opportunity in the world. Sure, talent concern, not really. We've seen DeAndre Swift be good in the past. New offense coordinator, better offensive line. better offense. Caleb Williams, year 2. I expect DeAndre Swift to have a better receiving role. I expect DeAndre Swift to take a step forward in his efficiency because his efficiency was very bad. He was one of the least efficient running backs in 2024. I feel like he can only get better. The only running back they bring in is Kyle Monaghan. Roschon Johnson, I don't know why everyone's hyping him. I get he had a couple of touchdowns. Listen, I could score from inside the 3-yard line, all right? Jump over, get up, and you're in. All right, so Roschon Johnson, I think he's dusty. DeAndre Swift, I think, is going to have a very large workload for this Bears offense that's supposed to be good. Now, are they going to be good? Am I fading Caleb Williams? It's a different story. But now at RB, I'm confident. We got Chase Brown, we got DeAndre Swift, and I'm liking the look of this team. I'm not going to lie, guys. This Davis guy must like a lot of the similar players as I do. Looking at Davis's team, he has the 2 rookie running backs, which does concern me, but I'm sure he's going to get one of these veteran presences later on. Maybe he's going to look, if he gets Javonte, his running back room, I think, is going to be real solid. But looking at his wide receivers, he takes Josh Downs, love Josh Downs. He takes Calvin Ridley, love Calvin Ridley. Mike Evans, love Mike Evans, love Brian Thomas Jr. And he has elite quarterback, and I consider Sam Laporta an elite tight end who had a down year and bounced back in the second half. So Davis's team is looking really solid now. It's really coming together. You can tell he does a lot of these. Looking at what we're going to get on this clock right now, we can't take Hawkinson. We already have Bowers. Mason sucks. Ayuk sucks. Do we have any Baker stacks? We don't have any Baker stacks. Everybody here is dusty, man. Everybody here. This is the worst tier that you can potentially be in. And man, oh man, I do not like. Oh my God. I don't know, man. That might have been the biggest fumble of all time. I go Travis Etienne. I feel like Travis Etienne's been a bit of a riser in ADP in the past couple of days. It sounds like they're going to give Travis Etienne a shot to hold the starting role again. Maybe Travis Etienne was... It looked like he was playing through injury in 2024. I'm not going to lie. It looked like he was. We know he obviously was banged up. Bigsby had 700 yards on the ground. They're not just going to ignore Bigsby. They bring in Bashal Tuden in a heavy running back class. What if Etienne gets back to what he was in 2021 when Etienne had... Let's pull him up. We can't pull him up. Listen, Travis Etienne has had over 1,000 yards. What if he gets back to that? Then he's our RB3 at wide receiver. We should have taken Kupp. I'm not going to lie. We should have taken Cooper Kupp there. We could have set ourselves up with a Cooper Kupp, Sam Darnold stack later in this draft. And that was just an ugly tier of everybody. I don't like Jordan Mason. I don't like Jalen Warren, really. And every tight end is falling to us. We have Bowers, and if I knew that all these tight ends were going to follow us at our picks, like, I still feel like we're in no man's land here. If Kupp falls, that would be great, though. If Kupp falls here, that would be great, and it would save me from myself, because if I don't get Cooper Kupp, there he goes. There he goes. Do we take Brandon Ayuk 11 spots past ADP? Ayuk is also somebody that I think is going to be a major faller in drafts, right? Like, Ayuk, it sounds like, is probably going to start on the PUP, out for 4 games, and I think Ayuk's going to have an ADP of 150 when that happens. I'm not going to lie. But when we're optimizing for the final week of the season here, the only other guy that there's 2 other guys I'm considering taking. I'm considering taking Keon Coleman. What if it was the wrist injury that had him stop his breakout rookie season when he was starting to catch fire? I'm considering taking Coleman, but I don't love him. Then I'm considering taking Fields, but I already have, if I look at my Fields exposure, first off, we already invest in Burrow, so I don't want to take Justin Fields. We can't be investing that heavily into quarterback when we're already in on the Joe Burrow train. And looking at Justin Fields, he's my 3rd most drafted quarterback. I have 18% Justin Fields. My two most drafted quarterbacks, 29% Kyler Murray, 25% Jalen Hurts. So we can't be doing that. Davis's team, man. Let's see. The rich keep getting richer. He still hasn't picked yet. He's about to be on the clock. I'm curious here what he's going to do. Is he going to take Justin Fields? Is he going to take Coleman? He goes Travis Kelce. He gets his 2nd tight end. He's got Sam Laporta. He's got Travis Kelce. Not a terrible pick. Now, if I'm him, I'm looking at some of these older running back presences. I know he's going to be on the clock here again. I'm hoping for his sake that he looks at a guy like Keon Coleman, who just went. If I'm him, I'm looking at Dobbins. I'm looking at Ramondre Stevenson, getting some early point running back production when I'm sitting here with 2 rookie running backs. Now, he knows what he's doing, and I'm sure that he's going to make a good selection. He goes Fields. Now, we were talking about last pick that Fields was one of the quarterbacks I was looking at taking. He's going to have to play catch-up at running back. He will have to play catch-up at running back and even wide receiver. He's sitting here with 2 QBs, 2 tight ends. So he's fallen a little bit behind at running back and wide receiver. We are 2 picks away. The people ahead of us have 1 quarterback and 2 quarterbacks. I think we know who we have to take with this next selection. Dak Prescott's here, and Prescott's going to be falling 3 spots past ADP. We're sitting here with CeeDee Lamb. Now, Prescott has finished as the QB3 before. Prescott has finished as the QB7 before. I bet you didn't know that. Now, yes, he's volatile. Yes, he gets hurt. He gets banged up. Pickens comes in. Listen, Prescott finishes with 600 passing attempts per year. I mean, that is just passing volume that you cannot be passing on. Oh, Bateman is going to be we're 8 picks away. I like the Bateman pick. Luther Burden, I don't know how I ended up with this, but I have 38% Luther Burden. I guess I've been out of control. Like, if we look at the wide receivers in this range, it's Rashad Bateman, and then it's nobody. It's just a tier of a bunch of guys. Now, my exposure on Luther Burden is coming down because now he's in a range where I love Javonte, I love Tucker Kraft, I love Colson Love, and I love going tight end. But in my elite tight end build, when I'm looking at catching up on wide receivers, I think Burden's one of the names that I'd have to mix in because there's not many receivers in this tier. I don't like Marvin Mims, so there's just guys that we're looking at. And, Luther Burden's going to make it on the way back around, and if we don't get Rashad Bateman here, we might have to take him. We're back up on the clock. Thank God Cam Scatterbo goes 2 picks before us. I was thinking about taking Cam Scatterbo. Thank God Isaac, the watcher of our channel, takes Hollywood Brown. And we're going to get Bateman 15 spots ADP. That's good for us. Why? Bateman's going to give us spike weeks. He had 8 touchdowns in 2024. The spike weeks alone is going to be so clutch for this wide receiver room. We're sitting with Waddle and CeeDee Lamb, Metcalf. Those are the 3 alphas, right? They'll be in the lineup every week, you would expect. Ayuk, slow start to the season. Rashad Bateman, what is he going to be? He just had a kind of a breakout year, what I would call. Signs the extension. Zay Flowers isn't really the alpha. Can Bateman get higher passing volume, higher target share, or is it still just all going to be the tight ends and then Bateman in the red zone? Either way, we'll be taking that touchdown dependency for Bateman, and I think it improves our team. Oh no, Davis has to clutch up here. He takes Bashal Tutin, his 3rd rookie running back, and if he gets Javonte or Ramondre Stevenson, which there's 2 picks in between him, Ramondre off the board, if this guy, 4 running backs, he's not going to take him. Javonte, Davis takes Trevor Lawrence. Oh man. Now I know, listen, there is the thinking, Gentry's going to have projectable volume right off the bat, 300 plus touches. I get it. RJ Harvey, I'm worried about. RJ Harvey. I don't even think Bashal Tutin in my eyes is an RB3. So I don't like the Bashal Tutin pick there. I would have went with Javonte. In fact, send Javonte my way. Start sending up a prayer. This guy has 4 RBs. He's not going Javonte. Then we got DTW 27. He's got 2 running backs. And his second is Jalen Warren. So this guy's going to go RB. If he goes Javonte, we're kind of going to be in a tough spot. My favorite player on the board is honestly Rachaad White or Isaiah Likely. Do we catch up a little bit more at running back with Rachaad White? Now, interestingly, he goes Trey Benson. And thank you for the RB1 of the Dallas Cowboys offense. We now have Dak. We now have CD. And we got Javonte. We got the double stack. Javonte has had a bit of receiving upside in his career, right? So Miles Sanders ain't going to be the receiving back. It's probably going to be Jadon Blue. But if Jadon Blue's nothing, Javonte's the one taking the majority of first-team snaps with Sanders, who's more of a rushing back than a receiver for sure. Our running back room, I like it now a bit more. Now, yeah, we don't have one of those high upside rookies. I'd argue that Chase Brown gives a lot of upside. Chase Brown, he really only had half the season last year to showcase his talents. I think Chase Brown can be a league-winning running back. Looking at our team, I'm liking it. Now, on the way back around, we have a Tua stack with Jalen Waddle. Now, the bad news about this team is both our quarterbacks are a Week 10 bye. So, realistically, you take Joe Burrow, you take Dak Prescott, I would not be taking a third quarterback, especially when we have the stacks that we do. Now, I'm going to have to take a third quarterback in my eyes because we're sitting here with the 2 Week 10 buys. You have to make the dance to win the dance. So I think that taking this third quarterback is definitely going to hurt our odds in this tournament. And I don't want to do it now. I'm glad that Tua went. I don't want to do this right now. But I feel like at some point I'm going to have to. Now, we're kind of falling behind it at wide receiver. Ayuk is our 3rd. Ayuk is our 4th. Bateman is our 5th. Like, that's not good. But the guys in this tier, it's not great. So if Likely falls to us here, Josh Palmer goes off the board. Xavier Legette, nah. I'm going to take Isaiah Likely 10 spots past ADP. They want him to be a Pro Bowler. Maybe, listen, this Ravens offense is a Super Bowl contender. We already have Bateman. We don't have Lamar. We'll go Bateman. We'll go Likely. And we project to have a lot of the passing touchdowns in this Baltimore Ravens offense in 2025. Tight end room, we're done at 2 tight ends. Thank God. I did not look at their bye weeks. Bye week, week 8. Bye week 7. Yeah, thank God. We're done at 2 tight ends. That would have been devastating. Running back room, honestly, looks real solid. Quarterback room looks real solid. Wide receivers, let's hope that Jalen Waddle's the GOAT. Let's hope that DK Metcalf is actually going to have a wide receiver 1 season for the first time in his career. A lot of things that we're hoping on, a lot of things I don't like. We need some upside. We need some upside, and we need something now. We're back on the clock, and we're going wide receiver. Now, there's a guy heading into year 3. There's a guy that has buzz, that he's having good connections with Drake May in camp. He had 600 yards first 2 seasons. He had 3 touchdowns last season. Demario Pop Smoke Douglas, whatever his name is. Welcome home, big fella. The guys in this tier, I don't love. Again, we're seeing tight ends fall because we took Bauer, so of course tight ends are going to slide. You see Jonnu still available, 15 spots past ADP. I just took him at 160 in the last draft, so that's not too surprising. You see Pitts go ahead of Jonnu. Pitts finally goes off the board. Now we're 7 picks away. We got to start thinking already about what we want to take. You see Gesicki, you see Ertz. Now I hope that Davis gets their Ertz stack for his Jaden Daniels quarterback. Davis's team, sadly, in my opinion, he choked. Now, he took another running back. Was it a guy that can score points? Tyler Algier. Not a big fan of the Tyler Algier pick. Now, if Bijan's hurt, sure, Algier's great. If RJ Harvey is not getting this guy 14 points a week immediately, then Tank Bigsby is going to be the one sliding into his lineup. I like the fact that he doubles up on the Jaguars. He goes Bigsby and he goes Bashal Tuden. Now, look who we have. We got ETN. We are rivals. He snipes on Mike Evans. We're going to take Travis Etienne. So you're not going to have the whole Jaguars room. Looking at what we're going to be getting on the way back around, Jalen Noel. I like Jaden Higgins a bit more. Now, there is a cheat code at wide receiver. There's a cheat code. And look, this is what I'm saying. We could have taken Kupp, dude. If we had Kupp, we could have went Sam Darnold here as our 3rd quarterback with nothing invested. Sam Darnold was just the wide receiver. Sam Darnold was the QB9 last season, which is just crazy. I might go Wanda Robinson. It's half PPR. We got to go upside. Take a look. This is the cheat code. Alec Pierce. It's a reach. Buddy Boy had 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. He did all of that on 30 catches. Now, it's best ball where they get slotted into your lineup on these spike weeks. 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. We're going to need that with our wide receiver room. We have Rashad Bateman. We have Alec Pierce and Ayuk. I consider all those guys kind of spike week guys. The spike weeks are just going to have to line up in a way where every single week we have 2 alphas in our lineup. CD, Metcalf, Waddle. We need at least 2 of them to slot in wide receiver every single week. And the 3rd one, maybe it'll be a spike from Bateman. Maybe a spike from Pierce. Maybe a spike from Ayuk. And then maybe Metcalf, toss up, right? So the team, I'm liking the team. Now, it's not as good as the last draft I just had, but we're in here with Davis and a bunch of Davis's goons, so I'm sure he's got street fighters as well. He goes Jalen Noel. Let's look at his team. His wide receiver 5 is now Noel, but his first 4 wide receivers I really, really like. His tight end room looks really solid as well. QB room, in my eyes, a bit too heavily invested. He went for the Trevor Lawrence BTJ stack. He has Fields unstacked, which is good. The thing that I don't like about Davis's team, first off, is the RB room, which we were talking about. I don't see a Jaden Daniels stack. So he has Daniels unstacked, Fields unstacked, which is why he had to kind of reach on Lawrence in my eyes. Lawrence, he has BTJ, and he's got 2 of the running backs. But in our eyes, we have the alpha running back with ETN. Now, we're in an interesting spot. We're going to go DJ Giddens right here. Now, we're going DJ Giddens as our RB5. We're going to wrap up the running back room. Giddens, he gives us the upside at the running back position. We kind of lack upside. We have a couple of vets, Javonte, ETN, Swift. Then you got Chase Brown. Chase Brown's the most explosive running back in that room, obviously. Giddens has a really nice prospect profile. What if JT misses time? And this is what we're going to try. We have Alec Pierce, who we just highlighted. Alec Pierce, big play potential. We need a QB3. We need somebody that doesn't have a Week 10 bye week. And that puts us in a tough spot where we're making a dart throw. Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones. Which one of you bums is going to be playing in Week 10 on our bye week? Which one of you guys is going to be giving Alec Pierce those deep balls? So realistically, I'm not worried about getting sniped because I hope I get sniped and I hope the decision gets made for me. Anthony Richardson, oh yeah, he's injured. I don't believe it. Expected back at training camp, expected back for training camp. Then you have Daniel Jones. He's been getting a lot of the first team reps. At least he will be. Right? So he's got the high opportunity. But we haven't really seen Daniel Jones be amazing in his career. Who do I think has the highest ceiling? It's definitely Richardson. Who do I think, follow the money. Daniel Jones got a big contract. I think it was, $13 million? And this is where the big bucks are made. I'm going Richardson. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm going Richardson if Richardson's here. You can't pass on the ceiling. You're trying to win a tournament. You're trying to win it. If Richardson plays 10-plus games this year, he's probably the best pick on the board ever. He's the best pick in best ball at ADP of 201 if Richardson plays 10 games this year because of the rushing upside. He will win you weeks. He will slot in your lineups in weeks. Davis goes Rico Dowdle. I get the Rico Dowdle pick. This is one of those veterans. He had 1,000 yards last season, but what is Dowdle going to give him? I guess Dowdle wasn't. I like the pick. Probably my favorite pick at his running back position there. And Anthony Richardson's coming home. Do we push it further? They wouldn't make it back to us. I was thinking about maybe going Dante Thornton and pushing it further. We're 14 picks away. And yeah, I'm glad. I don't think that AR and Daniel Jones both would have made it back to us. Look at our team. We have CeeDee Lamb, Brock Bowers, Chase Brown, DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle. We have the CD stack with Dak Prescott, who's also stacked with Javonte. Now we got Joe Burrow stacked with Chase Brown. Unique stack, but we took Joe Burrow at ADP of 68. We'll take that. We got DeAndre Swift as our RB2. We have Travis Etienne banking on the upside there. We got Brandon Ayuk, which, dude, please recover faster. You got Dak as our QB2. We have Rashad Bateman for the spike week upside. We got Javonte. We got Isaiah likely tight end 2 behind Bowers. Likely that they want to be a Pro Bowler. All right, I'll believe you. Demario Douglas, Alec Pierce, DJ Giddens, Anthony Richardson. I think our team looks pretty solid. This is a solid team, a really good team considering that we're drafting in a lobby full of sweats. Look at the red. Red badge, red badge, red badge, red badge, red badge, red badge, red badge. I mean, I think that means we've done what? Over 1,000 drafts. So Davis has brought his goons in here for sure. He goes tight end 3, Mason Taylor. And that's what I'm saying. He's chasing the stacks now. His wide receiver 5 is Noel. His wide receiver 6 is Thornton. I like the picks, man, but if he can make the dance, I think he can be dangerous. I don't know if he'll be able to have the early season upside to score enough points. This might be one of those teams, I never monitor these teams, so this might be one of those teams we have to monitor a little bit just because we have one team with Mason Dodd. We got another team now with Davis, Calvin Austin, Andre Yosevas. Andre Yosevas is my top 3 drafted players. I take him a lot right here in the 18th round. Year 3 guy, puts on 15 pounds. He had 6 touchdowns last year, so I think he can give us a lot of touchdowns. I don't have much, if any, Calvin Austin. We have DK Metcalf. We're already kind of invested into this Pittsburgh Steelers offense being decent. And we had a Joe Burrow stack. We had Yosevas with Burrow. And I fumbled the bag in real time. Every pick up to that point was good. And you fumble. Once you start looking at your percentages and you see, okay, I have Yosevas. I have him in 22%. It's like, dang, that's scary. And you want to bring it down a little bit. I should have went with my gut, bro. That's the draft, man. We draft with Davis. Big shout out to him. His team looks pretty solid. We talked about it enough. Yeah, a lot of upside on his team. I think our team has a lot of upside as well. Would have felt a lot better if we made that week. If we made that stack there with Burrow. Now we only have Chase Brown. It is what it is. I think this team can be dangerous. Wide receiver is definitely the downside. Everything else looks real, real good. Smash the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching if you're new. If you made it to the end, you're a real one. Peace.